Alright, what's up guys? So now that we got our render done, I'm going to take it to Photoshop. And this is where you get to see all my little tricks and stuff to make really nice clean banners. Um, so yeah, so I got our render here. I don't really do too much to it in here in this stage because it's not really a grungy type of banner that I'm making. It's going to be clean. Normally I would add textures and stuff like that and filters and stuff if it were, but that's not the case here. Um, what I try to do is put the entire logo in um, to fit the Photoshop banner or the YouTube banner or whatever you want to call it, whatever you're working on right now. Right now I'm going to just do the YouTube banner. Um, okay, so now that I put my render in, I'm going to place down like a floor for the background. Can't really see, but make it a lighter color. And for the background, I usually make it a darker color. So it's gonna look like that. That's gonna be our setup mainly for the banners. So yeah, now I'm going to take my elliptical marquee, and I'm going to make like a little circle and make it into a black. So press Shift F5 to shortcut the fill. Press Enter, and then we're stuck with this little thing right here, but still not complete yet because I need to make it into a shadowy figure. So I go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, or however you pronounce it. Okay, and then I go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur once again. And it gives me this nice little effect right there on the bottom. You can see, looks pretty nice. So it works really well with these types of designs. And let me see, put that towards the middle. It looks really sick. And what I like to do is hit the clipping mask just in case so nothing gets over it or anything like that. So yeah, and for my background, we're just gonna play with it. I'm gonna get some banner, some brushes, and we're just gonna mess around with it. So let's see what looks pretty sick right now. I always like using these, but let me see what else do I have. Let me see. I got. Oh, that's too wild, I think. Mm, hmm. I think I need to stock up on some more brushes, to be honest. I really like these. Yeah, I'm gonna use these. These are nice. So, this is what I do. Just, decorate the back. To make sure that it fits in. So it looks pretty clean like that, but we're just gonna do one step further, and what I do is I experiment through all the little filters. Lighting looks alright. Soft light looks clean though. I like it that it's very subtle in the background. Like you could notice it if you're looking for it really. I like that type of those designs. You can, if you're staring at it long enough, it makes whoever's looking at the design stare at it a little bit more. If they just glance over it the first time, the second time they look at it, it's like, oh wow, I didn't notice that, and then they actually take a look at your work. Um, so yeah, let's see. Oh. And then I like to do a little lighter, like light coming from the background, like that. Actually, do it a little bit lighter so that it's different. Okay, so now, um, what most people like doing, oh, position. um, so what most people like doing is adding their little flares and color correctors at the end. I do that. I try doing that most of the time, but I can't really, help myself, so I just do it pretty early on. So what I do is I put this color corrector on. It's kind of fast because I'm kind of used to doing this, but basically it's just a gradient map of this color scheme, and then I go down to overlay, and then I lower down the opacity to like 65, and then I also add a the flare, the little actually what I do is I put this light rays brush that I found. It's so helpful. It looks really, really clean. As opposed to just the brush dab that you have. Let me see if I can find it. I use these all the time with these types of banners. Let me see. Where are my rays of light? There we go, right here. So what I do is I take these and oop, that's too much. Yeah, it's too big actually. So let me see if I can find something else. This one's clean. This one's nice. So what I do is again go through my filters, and I like that one, but it doesn't really fit. This one looks nice. So my overlay one is the one I'm going to be doing a lot. Put it down to 60. Then I get another one, and this one's going to be a like the little brush circle, whatever it is. And with this one, I do the same exact thing. Go all the way down, look for it, and then it makes like this bluish color, and it has this nice little contrast. This one's the same thing, overlay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this one at 45, and then on top of this one is when I do my white frame. So, but not too much. There it goes. So that looks clean in my opinion already, but you're still gonna have some of that space to work with in the back. Um, and what I do to make it seem like, it's a little bit more subtle is I take my eraser tool and I just erase parts of the back. So that way it's like, oh yeah, some other stuff is hiding it in the back. And then I take, let me see, my brush tool, make it darker, lower it down by a lot, and I'm just gonna put a lot of the brush dabs everywhere. And now it's really clean because one of these makes it look so badass. I think I already passed it up. I think this one's it. No, the hue. Nah, not that one. I think it's color dodge, to be honest, but the opacity is way too high, so put that at like 30, maybe a little bit less, maybe 25. And what am I thinking? 18. 18 looks pretty dope. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to do this, but and for having these little light rays here with your paintbrushes, to get kind of rid of that, what I do to kind of get rid of that, I get rid of that by going to my very very background, and what I do is I hit filter, noise, add noise, convert it to a smart object, and what it does is it kind of like distorts. Well, that's too much. It kind of let me see. I'll put 0.7. It spreads it out a bit more. The noise spreads it out a bit more, so it looks like that basically. And I learned this trick from Pixel Destroyer on one of his other videos that he has. So shout out to him for hooking me up with that knowledge. And as you can see, this is what our banner is going to be looking like. You can add a few more things. You can add a lot more things actually. The space in the background looks really really empty. So what I'm going to do is add more of these shapes. I'm going to render those out and add those in because it's going to take a while. So yeah, I'm going to do that when I come back.